Greetings, Libra and Libra rising. This is your Western forecast for September 2024. Every September, the first 3 weeks, the sun is in Virgo. And Virgo is the sign prior to Libra. So it's the shadow sector, the transitional sector. So when the sun is in Virgo every year, first 3 weeks, you may be feeling you're in a holding pattern or that you're really working behind the scenes. Now, that's going to be one of the major themes I want to talk about because the new moon is on September the 2nd, and that new moon will hold, it's in Virgo, in your 12th house, the shadow sector, all of September. Because even though the sun will leave Virgo on the 22nd of September, the new moon in Virgo in your 12th is holding that energy until the very end of September. That new moon is in Virgo, work-oriented, sensible, practical Virgo, but it's in opposition to Saturn. And opposition means other people, outside circumstances, which is throwing up a block, an obstacle, or delays. And with the new moon in the 12th and the sun's in the 12th, those first 3 weeks, there's a lot going on behind the scenes. And I think it's all positive. You might very well be getting ready to launch a whole, like a Broadway show as an example, a movie, open up a business, or even launch a major online business. But it is September is when you're having to do all of the background work. Mars is this ambitious warrior planet. It's a 2-year cycle, September the 4th to November the 3rd, those 2 months. Ambitious, restless, assertive Mars is moving through your 10th house of careers. And Venus, your ruling planet, Venus, the planet of desire and charm and creativity and sociability, is in Libra the first 3 weeks of September. So there is a lot going on with visibility, with new aspirations, with business. But that new moon is in the 12th. Something has to be, and the Saturn, something has to be worked through. So it's not ready to be launched, to be visible, to be debuted. I'll break all this down into more detail. This is a big, exciting period for you, especially as you're going into your new birthday cycle at the end of the month. But before I get into all of that, if you enjoy these kinds of videos and would like to see more of them, click like and subscribe. And don't forget to click on the notification bell so you can receive the latest postings. And if you go into the description box underneath the video, you'll find direct links to book an astrology reading or to check out my 2-question offer. Now, after the new moon is a full moon, 2 weeks always later. The new moon is where we set our intentions, what are our desires. And it's in your 12th house, being in Virgo, of what's going on that you have to research and study and develop behind the scenes. The full moon is when it's starting to be revealed what your intentions were with the new moon. But this new moon is on steroids because it's a new full moon lunar eclipse. We'll have a lunar eclipse twice a year. All lunar eclipses are full moons, but it's a regular full moon. You might be feeling a lot of emotional reactiveness, or, seeing things out in the world are kind of crazy, but just for a day or two. But when it's a lunar eclipse, it can really make a lot of major readjustments. You could be feeling the effects for a couple of weeks. And this full moon lunar eclipse is going to be in your 6th house. The 6th house is work, your job. Can also be dealing with self-improvement and body maintenance, but let's just stay with work. A lunar eclipse is about letting go and detaching, letting go of old habits and attachments. The new moon is like you're trying to work on something behind the scenes, but with the Saturn, there's these blocks and delays. So by the 17th and into that next week at least, the full moon lunar eclipse is revealing what needs to be let go to break through. And it's in the 6th house of your job, or new job skills, new work projects. So in other words, you could stay in the same business, the same job, but it could be a big change with projects. Now, Venus is the ruling planet for Libra. Venus, once a year when it's in Libra, it's at home. So Venus, one of the great benefic energies of the horoscope, can give its best results when it's in Libra. The first 3 weeks being Venus in Libra, not only are you feeling really good about what you're building behind the scenes, this is also very favorable socially. Now that could be personal relationships, starting a new relationships, enhancing an existing relationship. But this could also be very favorable for starting to network, socialize what you're building and letting the world know you're getting ready. On September the 22nd, Venus leaves Libra and goes into Scorpio, into the 2nd sign past Libra. The 2nd deals with income, with cash flow. Venus is that planet of desire. So come September the 22nd till about the middle of October, there's this real desire to make more money. Venus is that power of attraction. You could be attracting more opportunities for making money. Then the Mars, ambitious, assertive Mars, once every 2 years, is in your 10th house of careers from September the 4th through November the 11th. This is a major motivational push to initiate new business, taking the lead, being really aggressive and ambitious. And when the Sun leaves Virgo, leaves the behind-the-scenes shadow sector on the 22nd, it doesn't mean that all the behind-the-scenes work is complete, because the new moon is still impacting you from the 12th house of behind-the-scenes work till October the 1st. But the Sun is going to leave Virgo out of the 12th house into the 1st house on September the 22nd for 4 weeks till about the 21st of October. So your ruling planet Venus for the first 3 weeks is in the 1st house of new visibility, socializing, being charming, highly creative. And the day that Venus leaves the Libra, the 1st house of visibility and new beginnings, the Sun moves into Libra, and it's the beginning of your new birthday cycle. And when the Sun is in the 1st house, it's putting a real spotlight on leadership, visibility, all new beginnings. And just prior to the sun moving into that first house was the full moon lunar eclipse on September the 17th, which was falling in your sixth house of work or work projects, which is this letting go. So there's a big change. Now, this could be changing jobs, starting a new career, certainly launching a major new project where you're really taking the lead. Now, let's switch gears from all of this new career aspirations, new business. The full moon lunar eclipse being in the sixth of your job duties, could be putting a real focus on employees, hiring them, firing them, if you're having to do a lot of readjusting. But the sixth house of work is also body maintenance, self-improvement, health care. And the new moon in your 12th, that could, along with behind the scenes work, that 12th house could be feeling like something is not right. You're tired, there's something amiss. Going along with heavy, serious, restricted Saturn opposing that new moon in your 12th house. And this could be that you're not yourself, you're feeling run down, you're feeling tired. For a lot of you, it doesn't have to be a health issue as much as you're burning the candle at both ends, you're not getting enough sleep, you're stressing yourself out with this major new career venture. But if you are run down and exhausted and that's it, you're still realizing that you have to take on major responsibilities to pace yourself, to get the rest, to get back on track. And when the sun goes into Libra, then that last week of September, you would start feeling more rested, stronger, more resilient. But if there is a health issue, you would be feeling with the new moon opposite Saturn that something is worrisome, frustrating. Then 2 weeks later, the full moon lunar eclipse brings to light what has been hidden. And it's in the sixth house of body maintenance, healthcare. But this full moon lunar eclipse is aligned with Neptune. So there could be a lot of healing energies, and liberating Uranus is excellent towards the Neptune and the lunar eclipse, which is about this breaking through of old stuck patterns. Could also be with Uranus dealing with any health issues. The lunar eclipse is bringing it all to light, seeing what's the problem. But Uranus can bring in more non-traditional, unconventional treatments. Maybe that's just a chiropractor, acupuncture, Chinese herbs, some type of alternative treatment that can really help bring heal whatever has been hidden. Because in the 12th house, that's the shadow, that's what's hidden. The full moon lunar eclipse is bringing it to light, but in the sixth house of body maintenance. So there's going to also be a lot of healing. Plus, when the sun goes into Libra, this in your first house, it has its visibility and confidence and more vitality in launching new projects. But the sun can rule the physical body, and the first house can represent the physical body. And so with the sun shining in the first house, starting the last week of September, is when you're going to be feeling more energized and more robust and starting to really heal whatever it was holding you back. So it's obviously nothing in general for most Libras. If it's a health issue, it wouldn't be anything life-changing, nothing chronic and heavily serious. But it is something that is hidden that needs to surface to be healed. But I think for 90%, let's say, of Libras who are working behind the scenes and studying, researching, development, and are exhausted, because maybe a lot of you have to have a day job, and then you are doing all this studying or preparation at night and over the weekends, so you're exhausted. You're going to start, as you start to launch this new project, and the sun is going into Libra, you're starting a new cycle, you're feeling more refreshed, more motivated. But this is a big turning point with your business and career or life purpose, because there's ambitious, assertive Mars in your 10th house of career matters all of September and all of October. But because of the new moon in the 12th house of the shadow, you're working behind the scenes. You're going to be launching, well, I would say launching in October, but the last week of September is when you're seeing all the light at the end of the tunnel and you're able to start making plans to do the launching. You see October the 2nd, it's going to be a new moon solar eclipse, major new beginnings, especially if you're born a couple of days around October the 2nd. But whatever you are developing and building through September, it's best to launch it after the new moon solar eclipse. This full moon lunar eclipse on the 17th of September, the new moon solar eclipse October the 2nd. Twice a year, we go through an eclipse season where there's a lot of change, a lot of new beginnings, a lot of shaking things up. So that's why I think some of you could be launching a new career, a new business, or maybe you're finally starting to get recognized where you've been behind the scenes and now you're getting the spotlight is being put on you. In many ways, this can be a really coming out party for you, a recognition, of celebration. And Venus in Libra the first 3 weeks, and then the sun in Libra the last week through the first 3 weeks of October is also really favorable for Libra's favorite subject, relationships. So if you're single and you're looking, this is a really good time, but maybe more in October to start a new relationship. And for all of you Libras who are in a relationship, that Venus, the first 3 weeks, you could be bringing more healing, resolving, playfulness, enjoyment in your relationship. I want to thank you for watching. If you like information on how to book an astrology reading, or check out my 2-question offer, visit my website at gardino.co, that's .co. Until next week, be safe and well.